Good evening, I'm Amna Nawaz.
And I'm Jeff Bennett. On the NewsHour tonight, Pope Francis passes away at age 88, leaving behind a legacy of change and a reshaped Catholic Church.
The Secretary of Defense faces mounting calls to resign after new reports of his sending attack details on a commercial messaging app.
And the U.S. Supreme Court hears a challenge to the Affordable Care Act's requirement that private insurance companies cover preventive care.
If you take away this no-cost access, the people are much less likely to get these screenings and to take this medicine.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions, and friends of the NewsHour, including Leonard and Norma Chlorfine, and the Judy and Peter Bloom Kovler Foundation.
Certified financial planner professionals are proud to support PBS NewsHour. CFP professionals are committed to acting in their clients' best interest. More information at letsmakeaplan.org.
It really matters when you have an opportunity to give back.
Being part of something that's bigger than myself, that's what brings me happiness.
Being able to integrate your professional career with some of these other things that are important to you, it's critical to be happy at the end of the day.
You know, this is our community too, and we want to participate and give back to it.
People want those opportunities to make an impact and a difference.
The Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social change worldwide. And with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to the NewsHour. The world is mourning the death of Pope Francis, who passed away at his residence this Easter Monday. Throughout his papacy, he was often hailed and sometimes criticized for his efforts to reshape the Catholic Church.
His death comes one day after the Pope greeted crowds and delivered a short message on Easter Sunday. The Vatican said his death was caused by a cerebral stroke that led to a coma and irreversible heart failure. He was 88 years old. Across the globe, reactions have poured in, remembering Pope Francis. Bells rang in St. Peter's Square today, and mourners quickly gathered to mark the death of Pope Francis.
He was not only a pope for the religious people, but also for the non-believers and for the poor. He was important, and he was open-minded and had attention for the environment and for cultures.
It's a great disappointment, a great loss. A man who has innovated the church and a man who has left a great mark.
Catholic churches held services in honor of Francis, the first Jesuit pope and the first from Latin America. Many praised his efforts to steer the church in a more inclusive direction.
It's truly a feeling of sadness. We remain very attached to him. He was truly a pope we had the chance to meet, to approach.
Flags were lowered in many countries, including the U.S., where President Trump spoke during the annual Easter egg roll at the White House.
I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So he was a good man, worked hard, he loved the world.
In Brazil and in Argentina, where the Pope was born, a week of mourning began. Leaders around the world paid tribute.
Throughout his pontificate, he stood alongside the most vulnerable, the most fragile, with great humility and a very special sense, in these times of war and brutality, a very special sense of the other and of the most fragile.
Pope Francis was a humanist, a man who was always close to the humblest, to the poor. So it is a painful loss.
Many religious leaders spoke of his compassion and his outreach. The Archbishop of New York, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, said the timing was striking.
You couldn't choreograph it any better than what happened. The last time we saw him, Easter Sunday, the last words, a blessed Easter, as he gave us his blessing. The way he lived and the way he died, he was a great teacher.
Francis's 12-year-long papacy was in many ways a remarkable one, working in service to the Church until the very day before he died. Pope Francis sought to focus more explicitly on social justice, on climate change, and addressing the most marginalized in society.
But he also faced pressure for actions that some say fell short of his public remarks, undercut commitments, or went too far for some Catholics. Stephanie Tsai has a look back at his life and work.
Gaudium Magnum. Habemus Papa.
He was a symbol of change and hope for the Catholic Church. In March of 2013, Bishop Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina was elected pontiff at the age of
Allow me to alter our route, Master. By my calculations, this one will prove shorter. Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
I've just discovered a hidden route. Where might it take us, I wonder? Over here, if you would.
Let me get that.
Unless I am mistaken, what we require is already in our possession.
Look there. I espy another statue.
I can foresee no reason not to go see it up close. A Cyclops!
Fire is not its weakness, but its strength. Well done. Look out, Arisen! We're under attack! The simplest strategy that our foe most annoys. Dock its feet up, plunder it, and strike edge with some all our strength. We must. It seems we have enraged our foe.
Might be use their range to our advantage.
I am well aware. It's a foe worthy of caution. Nor to save our best will do.
I understand.
Valuable materials. Shall we see
what will happen to us if we don't survive? We must needs focus.
I shall see it done.
One might confidently call that a resounding victory.
Overconfidence is an enemy in and of itself. Let us instead strive to better ourselves with every battle.
Over here, if you please.
I'd wager our merry band can handle whatever comes. We ought to have no trouble on the journey ahead.
True enough. Success. Our foe hasn't even noticed what's been pilfered.
Your Britain has been drenched.
No one can defend themselves when grappled like this.
You hold the enemy's focus, and I shall strike them down.
A wise strategy.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
We've got goblins!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness. As your pack becomes heavier, so too does your step. Perchance, you ought to let a few things go. I see you've been drenched. Dry off as soon as you can. By your command, Arisen.
That went as well as we might have hoped. Let us cast our eyes about and analyze the situation. Shall we present the evidence we have gathered to Sir Lubomir? If you wish to meet with this person, I would gladly lead the way.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Just remembered, I've somewhere to be.
I ought to have enough for a few pinches of spices.
This is such a good Tis so...
Here we are.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? I don't like the sound of that. Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would do well to bring this medicine to Sir Radcliffe, the doctor over in the rest town.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out safely. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead?
I wish life was nothing but the good bits.
Over here, if you would.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor. Regarding the Queen Regent and an important personage, you mean?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with this Batali dignitary than is publicly known.
Hello. Suppose that's enough for me.
It would seem we have what we need to hand. Pray, follow me. Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
The Arisen decides our path. We have but to follow.
You understand how heavy the burden of duty can be. Say, would you be willing to do me a favor? Thank you kindly.
Shall we get some rest then? Twas a chimera I was tasked with battling. A ferocious and terrible beast. I'm in no hurry to face one again. Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead. Come, we've much to be getting on with.
A new day, a new perspective. Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest town? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. I believe I can guide you to the person in question.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Might as well take a look while you're here today. Well met, sir. Hearing such joyous voices makes my heart sing. Look, as long as you please. Mother Vale.
This might be worth a read. Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be glad to assist you. Do come again.
Best get to cleaning before I'm too tired.
Welcome. I'm not fine. Well, Weston, how might I be of service? Are you in the market for something in particular?
Always a pleasure.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
Welcome to Bjorn's Armory. You'll find out quality is what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember, misers die early deaths. Hope to see you again.
Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest town? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. Methinks I know where to find the person you're looking for.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our... Have you business with the guild, sir? I should... Be glad to assist you. Do come again. We seem to have arrived without issue. But are we safe here?
I hadn't thought I could grow so fond of something.
Can't help but talk in a whisper when I'm here. 'Tis high time I made for home.
Well met, son.
I thank you. Would you accept this humble reward? Whate'er trials we may face, I shall see this village and its people safely through them all. I thank you.
Peace is bought in blood.
Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest town? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. I believe I can guide you to the person in question.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way. Bjorn's statue makes for a fine landmark.
Shall we search for a path to lead us to it?
Master. No one can defend themselves when grappled like this.
Quickly, Arisen! You must regain your footing. Strike fast, and our glory shall fall.
Must employ every tool and tactic at our disposal.
I enjoy tackling fierce foes and prefer combat's thrills to gathering items. I am confident. Have you a different destination in mind, Master? Very well. Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. I believe I can guide you to the person.
No! The Arisen has been poisoned! I should be glad to assist you. Curative
and I'll strike them down.
A wise.
Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest home? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. Methinks I know where to find the person you're looking for.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
What's your problem?
We could obtain some rare materials here, if it pleases you, Master.
Well spotted. Shall we see what we can find?
Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest town? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. I take it you've some business with this person. Then pray, follow me.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
Here we go again.
We must focus on finding victory, whatever our discomfort.
By your leave.
Success. Our foe hasn't even noticed what's been pilfered.
One can never have too many materials. I'll harvest some now.
Come, I'll lead the way. This bridge has seen better days.
Proceed with caution, keeping an eye on either side.
True enough. I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
We ought to take a closer look.
Well, this simplifies matters. We've already got what's required here in our possession. Pray, follow me.
You hold the enemy soldiers, and I shall strike them down.
A wise strategy.
The enemy has called reinforcements. It seems they need to match our might with strength of numbers. Shall we bring the medicine we discovered to the doctor over in the rest town? Mayhap he can tell us of its effects. If you wish to meet with this person, I would gladly lead the way.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Over here, if you would. Tis this way.
You're like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
Come, I'll lead the way.
There's a cave in the vicinity that you've yet to explore. I can take us there, using knowledge I gained beyond the rift. I shall do as you say.
This ox cart's bound for the checkpoint rest town. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier. Walking everywhere is certainly tiring. Let me get that.
I've got to focus. My shift's only just begun.
Start. I'm nodding off where I stand.
Not to look forward to.
A wheel hold
dignity
through yet. Stand strong. Our foe hasn't been noticed.
Beyond unjust.
Time to be heading home.
Oh! Can't wait for the new equipment to come in.
Well, this is no good. I'm about ready to...
We have found a material. I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
What to look forward to on a long day of work.
Oh, Connor!
I shall answer for this.
A victory to be proud of.
When the time was.
What in the world?
It is hard to imagine a world empty of monsters.
Somehow my feet always carry.
Say, you wouldn't happen to have seen a pretty stone lying about, would you? One befitting the name the Jadeite Orb. It was stolen from me while I was delivering it, and if Master Everard should find out, he'd wring my neck. 'Tis no exaggeration. He said people killed before, more than a few at that. To be quite truthful, I'd intended to sell off the Jadeite Orb and quit this place for good. Working under a man such as him, I'd only get chewed up till he decided to spit me out. That jewel was my last hope. Now it's gone. Unless you were to find it for me. Would you, sir? Oh, pray do a poor man a kindness.
The Jadeite Orb could be anywhere now. Perchance we ought to speak with someone who has experience in banditry.
What should I be talking to?
Peruse at your leisure, sir.
I'll gladly stay a while.
Well, hello there, sir. What can I do you for? Not that I really need to ask. Aye, there's always demand for weapons, particularly near the border, where quarrels occur every other day. Do come again?
Have you come from Vernworth? How are things there? The ancient battleground to the north is overrun with hordes of fell beasts, and so little are survivors anticipated that you'll find not even a checkpoint here. In times past, 'twas safe enough a night, when the monsters sleep, but no longer. Since a few days past, skeletons and phantoms have made this their nightly battleground. 'Tis nigh impassable now. It could be that aught's befallen the cenotaph. I'd heard the spirits had calmed somewhat since 'twas erected. Say, if I cannot dissuade you from traversing the ancient battleground, would you consider passing by the cenotaph and making sure aught's aright with it?
Why, peruse at your leisure, sir.
Greetings. You are the Arisen, are you not? Tell is you travel quite a bit. Tell me, in your comings and goings, did you happen to encounter a man by the name of Offulv? He seems to have vanished while in possession of a treasure known as the Jadeite Orb. My fellow merchants are scouring the city for him as we speak, but have had no luck as yet. And if I may be candid, our primary concern is not the merchant, but rather the orb. 'Tis an item of precious importance to myself and my partners, you see. I must see it reclaimed, post-haste. And in my hour of need, who should wander by but the good Arisen? What say you, sir? Would you be so kind as to seek out the Jadeite Orb on my behalf? You will be rewarded handsomely for your service. Of that I can assure you.
Sirs O'Fulv and Everard each seek the Jadeite Orb. To whom ought we to grant it, assuming we find the thing at all?
The decision is yours, Arisen. I trust in your judgment.
What was it I had to do?
Welcome, sir. If you've a change of vocation after all. 'Tis folly to linger on a single vocation when there are so many exciting methods of combat to be tried. Always a pleasure.
Time to be heading.
Oi, you there! You've just arrived in town, haven't you? I don't mean to pry, only it's my grandson, a boy by the name of Rog. He's gone missing. Pray tell, have you seen the lad?
Morris, I've just found out Roger's been abducted by beasts.
What? No! How can that be?
I've just heard news. Rog was seen being dragged off by wolves.
Oh, my poor boy. We must go rescue him at once.
Morris, think what you're saying, friend. We can't go charging off after the lad. We are no match for such creatures.
Do you truly expect me to do naught but twiddle my thumbs when my only grandson's been taken from me? The soldiers won't do aught for him, will they now? Consarn it all. He's right. But what else am I to do? If I do not hasten to the poor lad's aid, who will? Do you truly mean that, sir? You will save my grandson. If you return him to me, I will be forever in your debt, stranger.
Someone must have the answers we seek. If we ask around, we might just find them.
What to do?
Aye? In need of a doctor, are you? What's this you're giving me? Oh, I see. You want me to run some sort of test on this? Determine what manner of substance 'tis? Interesting. Well, you've certainly piqued my curiosity. Whatever your reasons, I'll take a look. Naturally, I'll need a bit of time with it. Come back again in... oh, I don't know. Later.
I cannot fathom your intent.
Got some business with me, do ye?
This morning.
How might I be of service?
Welcome, sir. Contrary to the name, this little shop of mine deals in naught but the finest treasures. If you think me a liar, then buy something and see the truth for yourself. On the transference of souls, eh? 'Tis not like to do much harm on its own, but when combined with its twin, the first volume, 'tis potent indeed. Take care how you use it, sir. Aught I can help with? Many thanks to you.
Slim pickings at least. After a dip, maybe in my touch.
My wares.
This is my sort of place. The more the merrier.
You'll never believe this, but the other day I saw an elven woman and a dwarven man walking hand in hand. Normally, you put an elf and a dwarf in the same room and they'll be trading blows before you can blink. Mayhap my eyes deceived me.
Have you heard the rumors? The residents of a small village to the north are said to have perished overnight. There was no warning, no apparent cause, but one morning they were all discovered dead. Every last one. Of course, such rumors are best taken with a grain of salt. Some peddler might have made it up to increase sales.
Aye, I met Roger by the cenotaph, on the eastern side of town. He had what looked like a bundle of grass with him, only he was carrying it as though 'twere of the greatest import. When I asked what he was doing with it, he would say no more than 'twas a secret. So I told him to get home safe, and we parted ways. Yet no sooner had I turned my back than I heard him scream. I charged to his aid, but a wolf was already scarpering with him and its jewels. Poor lad. His cries haunt me even now. Pray help him if you can, sir. He deserves a better fate than this.
The flowers that bloom around here glow come nightfall. From what I can glean, the petals absorb the sun's light by day and release it after dark. Isn't that unusual? Nature works in mysterious ways.
Where are you going?
Will this take long? I've ought to be doing.
Poor Rog. He truly is a lovely boy. He's always helping Morris in his shop. And he's delivered me my remedies many a time. Once, he even picked some flowers on his way and put them up for me, all pretty like. I still recall his smile when he told me about the beautiful flower bed he tends to on the outskirts of town. Oh, Rog, will I e'er see your smile again? I suppose I can only hope.
'Tis dark enough to warrant the use of your lantern, Master. Mayhap the flower bed will offer some clue as to Roger's whereabouts. Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location. Pray, follow me. This way, Master.
Cannot let down our guard even for a moment, lest victory slip away from us. Overconfidence is the enemy in and of itself. Keep on the move. Now strike them down. Wisely. Saved. Thank you, Arisen.
Over here, if you please. Now, what might that be?
We ought to take a closer look.
There's a shorter path we might take now. Allow me to show you. Mayhap the flower bed will offer some clue as to Roger's whereabouts. Pray, allow me to show you the way.
One of us will be poisoned. A curative ought to do the trick. We are none of us alike in vocation. One should think we'll be able to counter whatever comes our way.
Let us utilize our individual strengths wherever possible. Over here, if you would. Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
There will be other opportunities to lead. For now,
Mayhap the flower bed will offer some clue as to Roger's whereabouts. Pray, allow me to show you the way. Solitary shard is good for little. We need to seek out more of these, if 'tis to be of use.
we ought to keep it with care, lest we lose it.
You'll like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
Prepare the archers' volleys. Their arrows pierce us from beyond our line of sight.
Careful now.
Get back here!
I am saved. Thank you, Arisen. As I recall, we have another matter to attend to in this domain. The decision of which task to prioritize is the Arisen's to make. By your command, Arisen.
Over here, if you please. I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself. We cannot break it from this side.
Really? Now?
and I shall strike them down.
A wise one. I knew that I could count upon your strength, Arisen. Look there. I espy another statue. I can foresee no reason not to go see it up close. A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here? Mayhap you will think this a trifle, but... Curious thing. One of my former masters chose to hire only women. I wonder why.
Words worth hearing. There, Master! Saurian!
Really pushing your luck.
If our destination is a distant one, travel by ox cart might be worth considering.
It would allow us to save our strength. Assuming we're not attacked, that is. If you would.
I will protect you. I suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along. We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner. Let me get that.
Am I? What's going on? How did I get here? I remember! The wolves! How is it I'm still alive? You saved me, didn't you, sir? I can hardly believe it! Thank you! I would not be standing here without you. How did you know where I was? Did Grandfather request your help? I suppose he must be worried sick about me. If it's all the same to you, sir, I think I'd like to go home now.
We'd best report back. To charge ahead may be to rush headlong into danger. Let us take care to move as one.
Whoa! Oh, 'twas but a trick of the light.
Over here, if you please. A well-organized pack is my specialty. I'll... Come, I'll lead the way.
Keep it together.
What am I supposed to do about it? Let us deliver the lad to Sir Maurice forthwith. If you would be so kind as to follow me, I shall take you to the one you seek. Let us deliver the lad to Sir Maurice forthwith. I take it you've some business with this person. Then pray, follow me.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier. Walking everywhere is certainly tiring.
I must summon reinforcements.
I espy a hobgoblin! Keep on them, Arisen, and I'll strike them down. A wise strategy. Success! Our foe hasn't even noticed aught's been pilfered.
Over here, if you would.
This is most convenient. Another destination we were bound for is not far from here. Efficiency is not the only factor worthy of consideration.
'Tis this way. Pray, follow me. We've arrived, just as planned.
Got to keep it together.
Rog? Rog! Is that you, my boy?
Hello, grandfather.
'Tis a miracle! You're alive and in one piece! Oh, joy of joys! I thought ne'er to lay eyes on you again.
Grandfather, you're smothering me.
Oh, hush! You don't get to complain of such things after you worried me half to death.
Very sorry, grandfather. I didn't mean to cause you grief.
And you? Words alone will ne'er be enough to express the depth of my gratitude. I am truly in your debt. Pray, take this. 'Tis naught but a trifle in comparison to your kindness, but I hope you will accept it all the same. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for saving me.
Suppose I could enjoy some idle chit-chat.
Perchance Sir Radcliffe has finished examining the medicine, Master. Let us go and see him. If you would be so kind as to follow me, I shall take you to the one you seek.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
Here we are.
Ah, there you are. You've come at a good time. I've just finished running those tests. I must ask, where did you acquire that concoction? 'Tis a fell thing you got there. To be plain, 'tis more poison than physic. It has the potential to heal one's ailment, certainly. But only if they could survive long enough, which isn't likely. Worse still, it has addictive properties that are likely to cause the patient to become dependent on its deadly effects. I say patient, but I should hope whoever made this did not intend it as a method of treatment. You'd have to be well and truly mad to attempt such a thing.
You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use curatives is my specialty. We have sufficient evidence to warrant Lady Elena's arrest. Let us apprehend her and set proceedings in motion.
That went as well as we might have hoped. Let us cast our eyes about and analyze the situation.
We have sufficient evidence to warrant Lady Elena's arrest. Let us apprehend her and set proceedings in motion. I take it you've some business with this person. Then pray, follow me.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
Tell is, Vermund was once a beast-ridden kingdom.
Truly. Indeed. Though 'tis not widely known among the common folk.
I shall gladly aid you if 'tis within my power.
Is there aught I can help you with, sir? Oh, if you're looking for Lubomir, his condition deteriorated to the point that he had to be moved to the basement sick room. He's not allowed visitors, I'm afraid, not even family. Even we're not allowed to go see him. No need to worry, though. The Abbess is tending to him personally. She'll nurse him back to full health, I'm sure of it.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
We're here, and none the...
The patients in this room must not be disturbed. Leave this place at once. The patients in this room must not be disturbed. Leave this place at...
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
I need it. I need it. I need more medicine!
I shall do as you say.
The patients in this...
Any loose boy about? Enough to make you rich. Tomorrow will be noticed.
Swapping stories is one of life's great pleasures.
I'm doing it today out. That's very possible.
You're always good for a laugh.
I can't help but talking of this when I'm here.
Ho there. How have you fared? Would you lend your ear to my request? Many thanks.
I'd gladly stay here forever if I could.
So tired. I guess just about anywhere.
Not getting in anyone's way.
I'd lots to do. Anxious little sign.
This is most convenient. Another destination we were bound for is not far from here.
We shall have to decide which is the most pressing. We cannot do everything at once.
The hours seem to fly when I'm here.
Always another errand to see to.
It's a certain charm to this place, I must say.
not for it, but a cup. I'd be glad to talk when I'm off duty.
By your command, Arisen.
The hours seem to fly when I'm here. Good day, sir.
What would you of me? My time isn't yours to waste.
Welcome. Tad rowdy.
Let me alone, will ye? I'm a busy woman.
Quite the predicament.
What's your problem?
Quite the predicament. Quite the predicament.
I've more time than I know how to spend.
Quite the predicament.
I've more time than I know how to spend.
This hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
You don't need a permit to get into Batar. Just hide in the back of an ox cart, aye? It work. Mind, you've got to avoid the guards' line, but it's easy enough. I should know.
What a bizarre village that was. Our villagers stared at me with a bizarre intensity. 'Twas as though they were praising me somehow. The very memory sends chills up my spine. I shan't soon return.
I fear I've not useful to share.
All's well, I trust.
Welcome to the Star Drop Inn. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to...
I'll take any chance not to think on my
All this quiet makes me come o'er anxious.
Sweeping, laundry. My work's near done.
Let me get that.
Good day, sir.
I'm frightfully busy. Oi, keep your distance.
Is it true you're the Arisen? That's what I've heard, anyhow. Only, I seem to recall someone else boasting of being the Arisen over in the tavern about 6 months ago. Just be sure you play your part well, whatever the truth. The Arisen takes the crown here in Vermund, after all. A fellow Drake or two, and I reckon you'll earn the people's faith. Good luck to you.
Aye, that Lady Eleanor is a goodly person. A right saint. I owe her my good health, I do.
As I recall, the abbess met with that strange man a night, in the square that lies in the eastern part of the common quarter. The two shared a few whispered words, and I heard them say aught about staying quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh?
Should I trace life to its source, what might...
As I recall, the two shared a few
Aye, that lady...
Dead on my feet. Oh, maybe I'll be quite good.
Would that I ne'er had to leave.
Mayhap I'll set out on my own adventure someday.
I'd sooner stay out of that, where it's possible.
In anyone's way. I just help half as many lives as my parents.
So tired. I'd kip just about anywhere.
I'm not getting in anyone's way.
This should be of use.
This is most convenient. Another destination we were bound for is not far from here. We shall have to decide which is the most pressing. We cannot do everything at once.
Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all right on the roads, despite the hour?
A good sleep will ensure we are prepared for the morrow. Up we get. We can expect a busy night. Shall we check our packs and be off?
A new day, a new perspective.
Good day, sir. What might you be looking for?
On your mind? I'll lend an ear. I don't know what to do.
It is good to see people in such high spirits.
Wonder if anyone will notice.
Time to head to market, methinks.
There must be someone who worked hard today. I think
What's got you in such a good mood?
Ponder the higher mysteries. Let me think on this. Aye, that Lady Eleanor is a...
As I recall, the two shared a few whispered...
We have sufficient evidence to warrant Lady Elena's arrest. Let us apprehend her and set proceedings in motion. Methinks I know where to find the person you're looking for. A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Mayhap my faith is being tested.
Let me think on this a moment.
I've a fondness for a lively crowd.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself. Here we are.
What are you doing? Unhand me this instant.
Many thanks for your assistance in this matter. Elena is being questioned as we speak. Suffice to say, your testimony, combined with the evidence you've procured, have cast a great deal of suspicion upon the abbess that she isn't like to shake. Pray have this, sir. 'Tis your reward for aiding us in our duty to this city.
Who goes there?
What business have you here?
See to it that the law is upheld.
Can't solve all your problems, you know. Reckon you can do as you please, eh?
Yourself. I'm counting on you.
Do not test me. Yourself.
Out of the question.
What was I to do today? I must check my ledger.
Quite the predicament.
How'd I end up?
Might not one of the bandits in Vermund's jail know of the methods employed by thieves and their ilk? Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location. True enough.
I'm all time when I know how to swim.
All this hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
I'm all time.
Over here, if you please.
Quite the predicament.
Not much going on.
Coin smell good if you were.
Hackadella.
Whatever's to be done.
Idleness is a luxury I can rarely afford.
Well met.
Wish I'd
I wouldn't give for a mug of ale.
You say you're on the hunt for Griffenture. Darren asked that of you, I expect. Tis said a woefully lost blacksmith once stumbled into the arbour and left some of it with us upon parting. In your language, 'tis called by another name. What was it? Of course, Scale Cinder. That's the one. It can be found in Batal, I believe. I know no more than that. It isn't much talked about, you see. The blacksmith was a dwarf, and the elders rather prejudiced about their ilk.
Our master has given us an order. Surely you do not intend to disobey.
We must rest, though the sun is still up. Good morrow, everyone.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
Good evening, I'm Amna Nawaz.
And I'm...
Francis's 12-year-long papacy was in many ways a remarkable one, working in service to the Church until the very day before he died. Pope Francis sought to focus more explicitly on social justice, on climate change, and addressing the most marginalized in society.
But he also faced pressure for actions that some say fell short of his public remarks, undercut commitments, or went too far for some Catholics. Stephanie Tsai has a look back at his life and work.
Gaudium Magnum. Habemus Papa.
He was a symbol of change and hope for the Catholic Church. In March of 2013, Bishop Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina was elected pontiff at the age of 76.
Facciamo in silenzio.
Thank you so much for your welcome. Please pray for me.
He was a disruptor from the outset, the first pope from the Southern Hemisphere, the first Jesuit pope, and the first to choose the papal name Francis, after the saint who renounced his privilege to follow God. It was fitting for a man who, even as Archbishop of Buenos Aires, lived in a modest apartment and rode the bus. Francis followed the late Pope Benedict XVI, the first pope to resign in 600 years. Unlike his scholarly predecessor, Francis was known for his pastoral approach, says Natalia Imperatori Lee, who runs the Religious Studies Department at Manhattan College.
He is committed to what is known as the signs of the times. And Francis, with his papal priorities, the climate, migration, has really sort of looked at the world as it is, right? The grief of the world, the hope of the world, the joys of the world, and the anxieties of the world, and thought, how can the church bring attention to this?
Early in his pontificate, Francis made the first of what would become regular impromptu comments during back-of-plane news conferences that would spark headlines. This remark about homosexuality.
If someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has goodwill, who am I to judge?
He maintained homosexual acts were sinful, but for queer Catholics, Francis signaled positive change. And he went farther than other popes, formally allowing priests to bless same-sex couples.
In the end, Pope Francis didn't really change any doctrines regarding gay people, but he said that we are all sinners. He put everybody on the same level.
David Gibson, the director of the Center on Religion and Culture at Fordham University, says when it came to calling for urgent action on climate change, Francis called the planet our common home.
That, if anything, was his social justice priority, because he believed so strongly in a culture of life, but a culture of all life. He redefined pro-life as life from womb to tomb, but around the planet.
Francis opened and expanded dialogue on whether divorced and remarried Catholics could partake in communion, on the morality of contraception, and on the role of women in church leadership. He ultimately dismissed the idea of women becoming priests or deacons. But under him, the most recent church synod, traditionally a summit of bishops, included lay people and women. That led in part to this thinly veiled criticism by American Cardinal Raymond Burke.
Today's bishops and cardinals need a great deal of courage to confront the grave errors that come from within the church itself.
Francis sidelined Burke and other dissenters.
Towards the end of his papacy, Pope Francis was getting a bit fed up with the conservative critics, especially those based in the United States. I mean, they weren't just criticizing him. They were saying he was an apostate, saying he was a heretic. They were setting themselves up almost as anti-popes.
Francis inherited the sexual abuse epidemic infecting the church, and like his predecessors, he fumbled his way through it. In early 2018, Francis visited Chile to apologize for the sexual abuse of dozens of minors over decades by Father Fernando Caradima.
I cannot but manifest the pain and the shame. Shame that I feel for the irreparable damage done to children by church ministers.
But his apology was overshadowed by his defense of Bishop Juan Barros, who had been accused of covering up the abuse. Francis told accusers they needed to provide proof On the plane home, he apologized, but the damage was real.
And his words really hurt survivors in real ways. It caused material harm to them to not be believed, again, at the highest levels of the church.
During his papacy, he expanded rules for internal policing and prosecuting sex abuse cases. Francis was welcomed by leaders near and far on his papal missions. On a trip to Canada, he apologized for the Catholic Church's role in the cultural genocide of Indigenous tribes. And in 2015, he came to the U.S., where he became the first pope to address Congress with a soaring vision of an America united in compassion.
We must move forward together as one in a renewed spirit of fraternity and solidarity, cooperating generously for the common good.
He sought to elevate the church's influence on moral issues until the very end. In an open letter to American bishops, he recently called the Trump administration's mass deportation policy, quote, a major crisis that damages the dignity of many men and women and of entire families.
So good to see you.
The issue wasn't reported to have come up during U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance's brief meeting with him on Sunday. Vance, a Catholic, is the last known world leader to have met with the Pope. After the meeting, Pope Francis spent his final full day among the masses gathered at St. Peter's Square for Easter. Whether Francis' approach and his efforts to shift the church on some key issues will continue to have impact is an open question.
Was Pope Francis a success? The only way we can tell is who walks out on the balcony as the next pope. Will it be somebody who continues that legacy, who walks through the door that Pope Francis opened? Or is it somebody who's going to close that door?
Pope Francis died at the age of 88.
Fratelli e sorelle, buonasera.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Sy.
The death of a pope and the election of a new pontiff is adorned with high ritual and elaborate ceremony, as these passings and renewals have for centuries. For more on how the church will celebrate and mourn France,